I'm going to touch on that real quick.
Yeah.
On a commercial deal it wasn't a disaster, but it was a disaster.
It wasn't, but it was.
It wasn't what it was.
Yeah.
So I was negotiating for about 2 years for a franchisee who has a Little Caesars.
Okay.
He's a franchise for Little Caesars, and he's got about 17 locations. He was opening at one of the centers, an 18th location, and back and forth, and this guy had lawyers involved.
Yeah.
And as real estate agents, we're not lawyers.
Correct.
So when a lawyer gets involved, typically, specifically in commercial real estate, you go to your client and be like, look, this guy potentially wants the space. We need to hire a lawyer. Okay. When you hire the lawyer, he's going to go through he's going to do basically everything that we do, and we're just going to look over it. But you got to pay probably $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, depending how intense.
Whatever their fee is. Yeah.
Exactly. My client didn't want to pay that. He goes, no, why can't you just do it? Why can't you just run through the deal?
Like you?
Me.
Oh, okay.
And realistically, I could. But this guy was scratching off on triple nets where basically it's what a tenant pays when they go into a shopping center. He was scratching off property maintenance in certain sections that he doesn't want. He was scratching off decorations for the building he doesn't want to pay for. He was scratching off little lines. He was scratching off there and then. Like, that's lawyer stuff.
Yeah.
Are you a lawyer?
I'm not.
We're just realtors.
Thankfully.
Right?
Yeah.
And I couldn't do that, so I told my client to do it. Anyways, my client ended up listening, and he hired the lawyer. And keep in mind, you're taking the risk because the deal might not close.
Yeah. Then you're out this money.
Hired the lawyer. Negotiations kept going and going and going. He was paying every hour about $250. Every day he was calling me. Is it almost done? Is this almost done? Why do we keep going back and forth? And I'm like, I can't control this. You're negotiating.
Yeah.
And long story short, he was out the pocket about $4,800, and the franchisee walked away. He said, you're not going to work with me, I'm out.
Yeah.
He was investing $400,000 into an empty space, and they disputed on tenant improvements. My client didn't want to give him a little bit more money that he wanted.
Yeah.
Luckily, a couple months passed. Every single other day I was calling him. Yeah. The guy, the franchisee. He ended up opening the door again to give us the opportunity. I called my client. I'm like, you need to give him this money.
Just do it. Yeah.
Do it, because it's going to bless your center with a franchise in there.
Yeah.
We ended up closing it.
Nice. You made it happen.
And we made it happen. And guess what? The franchisee took 4.5% of the commission. 6% commission. Yeah. The guy who came and wants to open the Little Caesars took from my money 4.5%. So I took 1.5% home.
Yeah, just to make the deal work.
So typically they'll take 4 or 4.5%. Okay. If you're representing the tenant. Sure. He had no agent. This guy was sharp. Gotcha. And he ended up taking the money that I was supposed to make, and he didn't really take it.
But this was all for the sake of getting the deal done.
Just because I was like, if the tenant gets in the building, my client will be blessed. Yeah. Looking after the client's interest. I didn't care what I made. In fact, this specific shopping center, I've marketed 6% commission to anyone who comes within the next week. Oh, nice. I've done promotions like that. Yeah. And I looked at my client. I'm like, I don't care about making money on this deal. I want to bless your center and get people in there. That's good, man. To let them know, because some centers are just brutal.
And then next center he has, he'll bring you on.
100%. Yeah. And in the game of commercial is this: you fill their shopping center or whatever real estate they have. You then list it for them for sale for $5 million.
Once it's all full.
He wants it all full. So you're making commission filling the center up. Then you're making commission selling the center. Yep. Then he's like, oh no, I'm profiting $3 million. I need a 1031 this money.
To the next investment.
To the next deal. So then I'm representing him on another $5, $6, $7 million purchase. And I'm over there chilling on my yacht.
Yeah. Soon.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the game. It's beautiful, and that's really how it is.